These are 15 cars that will absolutely destroy your reputation the second you pull into a parking lot. Some of them are ugly, some of them are cursed, and a few of them are so culturally radioactive that people will actually vandalize them on site. Let's get into it. Number 15, the entry-level luxury car. I'm talking about the BMW 2 Series Gran Coupe and the Mercedes CLA. These are the cars people buy when they want the badge on the steering wheel, but don't want to pay for the actual car. Everyone knows what you did. The valet knows. Your neighbors know. The guy at the car wash absolutely knows. You walked into the dealership, pointed at the cheapest thing with a logo, and drove off thinking nobody would notice. They noticed. You're not fooling anyone with that front-wheel drive BMW. That's not a flex. That's a cry for help. Number 14, the Lincoln Town Car. Look, there was a time when this car meant something. Executives rode in them. Presidents rode in them. But that time was 1987. If you're driving one today, people aren't thinking classic luxury. They're thinking you either drive for a funeral home or you just picked someone up from the airport. The Lincoln Town Car has this unique ability to make any driver look like they're on somebody else's schedule. You're not the main character in a town car, you're the chauffeur. Number 13, the Subaru Baja. Subaru looked at a car, then they looked at a truck, then they apparently said, what if we made something that was bad at being both? The Baja is what happens when a committee designs a vehicle and nobody in the room has the authority to say no. It's like someone took an Outback and just hacked the back off with a saw. You can't fit real cargo in it. It doesn't look good doing anything. It's a truncated El Camino without any of the El Camino's charm, and the El Camino didn't have that much charm to begin with. Number 12, the Honda Element. Honda marketed this thing at young, active, outdoorsy people. Extreme sports enthusiasts, surfers and mountain bikers. You know who actually bought them? Nobody in that demographic. The interior was rubberized so you could hose it out, which sounds practical until you realize it makes the whole cabin feel like the inside of a rain boot. It looked like a toaster on wheels, a very practical, very unsexy toaster. Number 11, the Jeep Gladiator. This is a Wrangler that desperately wanted to be a truck and doesn't quite pull off either identity. It's the automotive equivalent of cargo shorts and wraparound Oakleys. Sure, it can technically go off-road, but statistically, the most rugged terrain most Gladiators will ever see is a gravel parking lot at a brewery. It also earned a 1-star Euro NCAP safety rating, delivers a bone-rattling ride on the highway, and has an interior that feels about a decade behind everything else in its price range. Number 10, the EcoBoost Mustang. Oh, this one hurts people. You pull up in a Mustang and people expect a rumbling V8. What they hear instead is a turbocharged 4-cylinder that sounds like a sewing machine having a panic attack. The EcoBoost Mustang is perfectly fine on paper, but in the real world, it carries one devastating stigma: you couldn't afford the V8. Every single stoplight becomes a potential interrogation. Is that the V8? No, it never is. And everybody already knew that before they asked. Number 9, the Hummer EV. General Motors looked at the original Hummer's reputation for being an obnoxious gas guzzler and said, what if we kept the obnoxious part but made it electric? This thing weighs over 9,000 pounds. That is not a typo. It's heavier than most military vehicles. It gets around 43 miles per gallon equivalent, which sounds fine until you remember it's an EV, and most EVs do significantly better. It's a vehicle that exists purely so someone can say they own an electric Hummer, which is a sentence that impresses exactly no one. Number 8, the Nissan Murano Cross Cabriolet. Someone at Nissan genuinely approved a convertible SUV. Think about that for a second. They took a perfectly normal crossover, chopped the roof off, and created something that looks like a bathtub with a windshield. It has all the impracticality of a convertible with none of the style, plus all the bulk of an SUV with none of the utility. It is a car that answers a question nobody asked and then charges you $50,000 for the privilege. Number 7, the Smart for 2. This car was supposed to revolutionize urban driving in America. It did not. North America simply never fell in love with it. And honestly, America was never really into it in the first place. When the NYPD put officers in Smart 4-2 patrol cars, the mockery was immediate and relentless. It looks like a real car's baby. It looks like something you'd win at a carnival. Every single time you park next to a full-size truck, you become the punchline to a joke you didn't write. Number 6, the Nissan Cube. According to a carinsurance.com survey of 1,500 licensed drivers, roughly 1 in 3 said they'd be humiliated to be seen in this thing, regardless of age or gender. 1 in 3. The Cube has an asymmetrical rear window, meaning one side of the car literally doesn't match the other. It's a rolling optical illusion designed by someone who apparently hated symmetry and the people who appreciate it. Number 5. The Hummer H2. The original poser truck. A 6-liter V8 getting roughly 10 miles per gallon, all wrapped in a body that screams, "I have something to prove." It was too wide for most parking spaces, too thirsty for any gas station visit to cost less than a dinner for two, and too associated with a very specific type of person who peaked in 2005. Driving a Hummer H2 today is like wearing an Ed Hardy shirt to a job interview. You're telling people something about yourself and none of it is good. Number 4. The Fiat Multipla. Voted the ugliest car of all time by Car Throttle readers. The Daily Telegraph ranked it number 2 on its list of the 100 ugliest cars, writing that Fiat dared to start thinking outside the box, and in this case, simply added wheels to the box. The car has a bizarre, bulging forehead design that makes it look like it's having an allergic reaction. And here's the wild part. The Multipla was actually displayed at the Museum of Modern Art in New York in 1999 and won Top Gear's Car of the Year in 2000. It was so ugly, it became art. Then Fiat gave it a facelift in 2004 because even they couldn't take it anymore. Number 3, the Chrysler P Cruiser. Over 1.3 million of these were sold, which means over 1 million people made the same mistake. One high school student described how his first 2 years were living hell because of this car. People laughed at him in the parking lot. Getting a girlfriend became exponentially more difficult, borderline impossible. Is it a hearse for clowns? Is it a giant replica of a children's drawing of a car? The surprising answer to both of those questions is no. It's simply a P Cruiser, and that's somehow worse. Number 2, the Tesla Cybertruck. One design professor said his first impression was shock and horror. An industrial designer said it looked like it was designed by a child, and other adults did not have the balls to tell the child the proportions were very poor. Tesla's own co-founder, Martin Eberhard, called it a truck that looks like a dumpster. Owners have reported their Cybertrucks being spat on, graffitied, vandalized, and even burned, with hostility increasing alongside anti-Musk sentiment. It is the only vehicle on this list that people will key out of political conviction. And number 1. The Pontiac Aztek, the undisputed king. Karl Brauer said it looked like a station wagon stretched out by a car bomb. GM executive Bob Lutz admitted the company's products looked like angry kitchen appliances, and the Aztek was the angriest appliance of all. Fewer than 120,000 were ever sold. Breaking Bad creator Vince Gilligan handpicked it specifically to make Walter White look pathetic. They even repainted it in a custom gray beige green tone to maximize the sadness. And when Walter finally had it repaired one last time, he sold it to his mechanic for $50. But here's the twist. By 2015, Edmunds ranked the Aztek 6th among used car buyers aged 18 to 34. The Breaking Bad effect made it cool, which means the Aztek pulled off something no other car on this list ever could. It was so embarrassing it came back around to iconic.